When we connect with people, certain situations are not always pleasant and welcoming. Projections and discrimination can also accompany them. But how do projections and discriminations relate to our current topic? Let's find out what the answer is. Hello and welcome to our School at Home class in English Grade 9. I am your teacher for today. I am Sir Anthony. Today, we are officially in the third quarter, so I hope you're still excited and interested in our new sets of lessons. Please sit back, relax, and enjoy the journey to our lesson number 1, Biases and Prejudices. After going through this self-learning video lesson, you are expected to make judgment based on given scenarios, differentiate biases from prejudices through examples, weigh information to make decisions, and supply correct answers to given exercises. Now, before we start, let's find out how much you know about this topic. Then check if your answers are correct and try to analyze which part of the lessons you have to focus on as we go along. Here's the instruction. Determine whether the given scenario shows bias and prejudice. Clap once if the statement shows bias, and clap twice if the statement shows prejudice. Mark is the barangay captain of Poblacion. During the giving of financial assistance in their barangay, he gave a larger amount of money to his relatives. The correct answer is bias. Number 2, Joshua is a member of LGBTQ community and he used to wear clothes that were not for males. And he receives a lot of judgment while he cross-dresses. The correct answer is prejudice. Ashley is physically disabled, so people think that she is also mentally disabled. The correct answer is prejudice. Number 4, the mayor of your province decided to give the vaccine first to government officials instead of medical frontliners. The correct answer is bias. Last number 5. A group of Bajau ride a jeepney and all the passengers in the jeepney look at them with a judgment in their eyes as if they are a thief. The correct answer is prejudice. At your age, you are already familiar with the adage, "No man is an island," aren't you? We have learned to live not only on our own, but also with the help of other people. When we connect with people, certain situations are not always pleasant and welcoming. Projections and discrimination can also accompany them. Sensitivity towards other people's feelings and situation is a huge factor that will lead us to a world where equality reigns. What comes to your mind when you see this logo, Bawal Judgmental? Correct! It is a segment from a very famous noontime show, Eat Bulaga. Was there a time in your life where you caught yourself judging others? How about being judged by others? Now, for clear understanding, let's define what prejudice is. When we say prejudice, it is an opinion against a group or individual that is based on insufficient facts that are usually unfavorable and intolerant. An individual may be prejudiced against others based on factors such as race, age, gender, sexual orientation, class status, religion, nationality, and amongst other things. For example, letter A. Anna saw a boy holding a bouquet of flowers, then gave it to another guy. Anna concluded that the two boys were gay. Letter B. A teacher thinks that all girls are bad at math but treats all of his students equally. These examples clearly show that prejudices are going on. Like the example in letter A, Anna concluded that the two boys were gay because a guy gave a bouquet to another guy. Anna judged them by their sexual orientation. In addition, people tend to prejudge them and eventually discriminate against them because of their background. Another term that is often used interchangeably with prejudice is bias. But these two terms differ from each other. Let's take a look at how it differs from the former when we talk about bias. Bias. It is a tendency to lean in a certain direction, either in favor of or against a particular thing. To be truly biased means to lack a neutral viewpoint on a particular topic. Somewhere along the line, bias took on a negative connotation. If you are biased towards something, then you lean favorably toward it. You tend to think positively of it. Meanwhile, if you are biased against something, then you lean negatively against it. You tend to think poorly of it. For example, letter A. The attorney in the trial court is the suspect's father, so he did everything to win the case, although he knows that it is against the law. Letter B. The referee received a lot of money from the losing team, so he always ensured that the other team would receive more violations. In a given example, a certain group of people was given more favor than the other. In letter A, because the suspect's father is an attorney, he became biased and did everything to win the case, although he knows it is against the law. And in letter B, because the referee received a lot of money from the lost, he became biased and ensured that the other team would receive more violations. For us to see if we are able to follow our discussion, let's try to check some few items. Use a clean sheet of paper and pen for this set of activities. Here's the instruction. Examine the given images closely. Identify which image shows bias and prejudice. Write the word biased or prejudiced as your answer. The answer in number 1 or in the first image is, that's correct, prejudice. As you observe the image, they were judging or they were teasing the man who is disabled. The answer in number 2, that's correct, prejudice. As you observe the image, The people judging make fun the girl who has a different tradition and religion. The answer in number 3 is, that's correct, bias. As you can see in the image, gender bias happened when the boss chose a man over woman. The answer in number 4, that's correct, prejudice. As you can see in the image, they are judging a girl who has a black color. So racial prejudice happened. The answer in number 5, that's correct, bias. As you can see on the image, they are biased on their own knowledge, beliefs. They are not consulting others people's idea.
Wow, you did great at that activity. Let's try another activity.
Here's the instruction. Clap once if the statement is true, and clap twice if the statement is false. Ready? Prejudice is the opinion or viewpoint, while discrimination is the action. The correct answer is true. If someone is thinking poorly of another person for his belonging to a certain race or for having different religious beliefs, then he has prejudice. The correct answer is true. Bias and discrimination are alike. The correct answer is false. Prejudice is taking action based on a discrimination. The correct answer is false. The tendency to favor one person, group, thing or point of view over another, often in an unfair way, is called bias. The correct answer is true. Denying someone a promotion because he is patronizing a different TV network is showing bias. The correct answer is true. Firing a woman from her job upon learning of her pregnancy is an example of prejudice. The correct answer is true. Offering higher pay to a newly hired Christian physician over a mainstay Hindu doctor is an example of prejudice. The correct answer is false. Putting up a greater number of washrooms in airports for females than males is an example of bias. The correct answer is true. being not invited over a classy neighborhood's party because of their ethnicity and origin is showing bias. The correct answer is false. It looks like you have learned this lesson. Congratulations for actively engaging in each of the activities prepared for you. Always remember that bias and prejudice test aims to measure the strength of association between groups and evaluations or stereotypes. The outcomes of this bias and prejudice test can provide a clearer picture of how people perceive those in the outer group. Helping people become aware of their biases and prejudices is the first step to addressing them. That's all for today. This is Sir Anthony. Goodbye and see you in the next lesson. Goodbye!